Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening, strategic partners. Good evening, leaders. Good evening, everyone. Good evening because I'm speaking from Accra, Ghana. It could be good afternoon for you. It could be good morning for you. Wherever you are joining us from, you're warmly welcome to this evening's presentation. And I'm excited to have you join us tonight on this all-important, crucial 1 hour, which could be a turning point in your life. So as a way of welcoming you, kindly put your name and where you're joining us from in the chat box. So we would welcome you in a special way. I'll entreat you do that whilst I get this setup done so we can always get back to it. Right, I think that's almost up. And then in a few seconds, I think I should be up. Right. And that's, I think, yeah. Great. All right, so that's done. So you're welcome. It's a pleasure once again to have you here tonight. My name is Dr. Dorothy Hansen. I'm going to be co-hosted tonight by one of our top leaders on this project. I'll introduce her appropriately. It's going to be a ladies' affair tonight. And trust me, what if this conversation could be that conversation that you've been waiting for? What if something that you already use, something that everybody needs, could be another source of income for you? That's the conversation we're going to have tonight. And I'll entreat you to keep an open mind, just be stick and stay to the end also. And let's deliver the message that your friend who invited you to this evening's presentation has called you to. You know, sometimes just an invitation could just change everything for you. And an invitation like this is one that's I just use a story that puts this closer to something that happened about 2 decades ago. So a couple of decades ago also, a certain young man, then in his sophomore years in university, had a bright idea, an idea that was meant to connect people starting from his university campus. And he invited friends to come take a look at it. He did invite about 7 friends or so. 5 of them showed up. And he told them the message, he told them what he had to share with them. And at the end of it, 2 of them decided to do the project with him. 3 of them, of course, walked away that this is not possible, it's not going to happen. But the 2 who stayed and heard it, 2 decades down the line, this project, they are multimillionaires with this person. And you and I are even partakers of this story. And that is just a summary of how Facebook started. Faces in the book. The 2 guys who took that bold step with Mark Zuckerberg are multimillionaires with him now. And you also have taken the first step of responding to an invitation. Now it's time to hear the blueprint of what your friend invited you to. And at the end of it, I hope you'll be making an informed decision like those 2 friends did after they heard the blueprint had been laid out for them. So we're going to just jump into it straight up, and let me just use the opportunity to welcome a few people who have put their names in, just a few, and then we can get into the conversation for the day. I see some of our top leaders on the call. Greetings, you all. Good evening, Boss Lady Enyo. Good evening. I see Mr. Tehova on the call. I see guests. Let's pick a few here. I see Samuel Opuku, you're welcome. Chachu Andy, you're welcome. Good to see you here. Johnny Bonzi from Tema, you're welcome. Benjamin from Accra, you're welcome. If there's any friend you have invited and the person is not here, I say this is the best time to remind the person that we've taken off and it's a good time for them to join the call before they miss an important part that would have inform them even more. Yaya from Kumasi, it's good to see you here also. So let's jump into it and let's get started. If you're ready, perhaps you can put some readies in the chat box for me as I get my slides up for the presentation. Right, so I think I'm good here. Let's get going. There you are. All right, Henry, thanks for the thumbs up. Great, great. Right. Great. So I've welcomed you, and you can rarely see brightly at the top that it's time to turn your dreams into reality. If any of these images represent your dream, it's time to start turning it into reality. And how are you going to do that? We are going to do that on a vehicle called Got Backup. What are they here for? Got Backup is here to empower you, the individual listening to me now, families, businesses, organizations, to achieve two dreams: digital dreams and financial dreams. Why digital dreams? We live in a world now that everything about us and our interactions is becoming digital and digitalized. Everything is happening on those spaces, and we are creating data with those on those spaces, which needs to be protected. Whether you're an individual, whether you're a family, the photos you are taking with the children, the photos you are taking of your parents, these are legacies you are going to hand over. Whether you're a business, now you don't even print much in the offices. Everything is emails and soft copy. All those things need to be protected because data has become king. If you have it, you can do projections. So organizations, individuals, those digital dreams, Got Backup is here to empower you to turn those dreams into reality, and not just empower you to turn those digital dreams, but also your financial dreams, because now everything about our lives, if you watch that video that played, is happening online. Online is no longer social. It's all business, and a lot of financial dreams are being turned into reality there. Got Backup helps you, empower you to achieve these two dreams. Who is Got Backup and what are they providing? You're going to hear Got Backup throughout this presentation, but Got Backup is a secure cloud storage service that was developed by an organization called Global Virtual Opportunities just 3 years ago. It allows you, once again, you the individual, the organization, and businesses to secure those digital assets, store them, manage them online at unbelievable prices. And beyond the service of Got Backup, which I'm going to tell you about, Got Backup offers you an opportunity to plug into a profitable strategic partnership program. So it's a two-way with Got Backup. And like I told you, the organization is behind Got Backup is GVO. It's an internet marketing software development organization. They started in 1997 in Gatineau, Quebec, Canada, and currently sits on a 10,000 square feet data center in the USA, Texas. Texas because the fiber optics are best for the service they are providing. A little background about why cloud storage. You know, previously data storage has moved through a series of storage devices. We started from diskettes, moved to CDs, moved to DVDs, pen drives, external hard drives. Now the future, no longer future, the now of data storage is now on cloud. Cloud storage is the future of data storage. Global Virtual Opportunities have been providing servers for organizations for well over 3 decades, seeing where the trend of data storage is going into cloud now. 3 years ago, birthed its own cloud storage service called Got Backup. That's the physical location you can see on the screen there, down there. You can actually take a shot of it and check on Google Earth. You will see that this is actually a real organization with a solid physical structure. Behind Got Backup is a leadership and a development team. A CEO, Mr. Joe Therian, and his wife, Ms. Evgenia Antonova, who is the Chief Development Officer, with other technical people. These are experts in the cloud storage space, in data storage, people who know how to manage data storage to meet the needs of the day-to-day person, knowing how many variety of devices we have in our time here. Just a bit of excitement about this amazing couple. We got the chance of hosting them in Ghana here just last November, about 6 months ago. And we'll show you some photos about that amazing gathering that happened here in Ghana when they came here. So they are real people. They are not AI. They actually exist. Beyond them, they are frontline developers, they are software development, technical officers, technicians who are also on the team at the back end, making sure data storage is as secure as it is. In this area of AI, it has a video assisted spokesperson called Tara, who does most of the interactions. So why are we even speaking about cloud storage at this point in time? Like I said in the beginning, our world is becoming more digital and more digitalized. And we are becoming more and more interconnected on digital spaces. And to add to it, we are generating so much data at unprecedented rates in our time than any other time since creation. From social media interactions to online interactions. Think about it. How many things have you done on how many platforms today using your device? Entertainment is there, banking is there, schooling is there, healthcare is even there. Everything is becoming digital, and we are using our smart devices with all these interactions, producing loads and loads of data. Data in terms of not internet data, photos, videos, documents, music, and this is data that needs to be stored. It will surprise you to know that we produce close to 400 million terabytes of data every single day. All of this needs to be stored somewhere. So as data is becoming the new oil of our time, there is demand for its storage, and there are boundless opportunities in this space. That's where GoBackup comes in, not only to give you the storage, but add on, give you a chance to be part of this opportunity that comes to it. Mentioned this already, and you can see the sources: social media uploads, streaming platforms like we are doing on this call tonight, and any other thing that's happening on your device is generating data. 400 to 500 million terabytes of data every single day. How does this plug in? GoBackup leverages two massive trends on this background that we've given. The first trend, the number of smartphones in our time now. Kindly help me. Let me know you are with me on this call. How many smartphones do you have? How many laptops do you have? You can put it in the chat box for me. I'll pick it up very soon. Stats tell us there are over 15 billion smartphones in the world. This was just about 2 years ago, by the way. It's even much more now. And for something that is like the smartphone, which has growth market and demand on it, there's financial success attached to every single person doing something on the smartphone now. And what do you use the smartphones for? Multiple things. And you can see this was generated from big data, how reliant each and every one of us is on the smart device. I'm sure this is the first thing you picked this morning when you woke up after saying your prayers. You went to your phone first. And tonight, most likely, is going to be the last thing you drop before you sleep. We've become reliant on this device. So much so that if you get to work and you do not have this on you, you may not have the best of days because you didn't take your smartphone with you. Stats says over almost 90% of us, 9 out of 10 of us, will feel uneasy if we got to work and realize we didn't have our phones with us. Other stats may blow your mind. The number of times you touch your smartphone in a day, over 160 times. I'm sure today you've done that, and tomorrow you do that again. Even yesterday you did the same. But something else is happening with the usage of the smartphone. Something that hurts, something that you may not have a solution for if you don't have one of these solutions I'm going to speak to you about: data loss. People are losing their data as much as we are creating those millions of data. Data is growing so fast and so big. According to stats, over 5,700 screens are broken every single hour somewhere in the USA. Over 50% of smartphone users have damaged their phone within a year. And as for phone theft and accidental damage, if you don't have a backup, you may not get your stuff back. You can always buy a smart device. What if you have a solution that no matter what happened to the stuff on your phone, you will have a solution for the data that you are putting on your phone? What if your phone should crash today, the things on your phone will still be secure, that you get it back and you will not lose it along with your phone? Guess what? There are solutions for that. That's for the smartphones, but then let's look at the laptops. We talk about smartphones more commonly, but when it comes to laptops, the loss is even bigger because a software corruption or a hardware fail could make you lose years and years of data, because most people store their data on their laptops or on their external hard device. And if you're an organization like that with everything on the machine, you can just lose everything within a second. I mean, just this week, I had the chance of working with some dentists in theater, and they take a lot of photos during their presentations. One question I asked: why do you keep all these photos for your learning? They said they kept it on the department laptop. I'm like, oh my goodness, you need a solution like this. What is your own story? Well, guess what? there are so many people doing similar thing, but then there are some billions of people who have also started storing their things on cloud. Because like I said, it's the future and it is the now. There are billions of people who use smart devices who store on devices like services like iCloud, Dropbox, Google Drive, OneDrive. I don't know which one you use. Perhaps you can put yours in the chat box. If you're an iCloud user, put an I. If you are a Google Drive user, please put a G there. If you're a Dropbox user, perhaps you can put a D in the chat box. Many people, billions of people are already storing on cloud, but most of them are switching to use GoToBackup. I use an iPhone and I use a Windows laptop, and I switch to store my data on GoBackup because GoBackup offers something of unbeatable value to anybody who uses the service. So how do we compare if you're offering solutions? Solutions do exist, but this is the best value solution you're going to get for your data storage. And let me tell you about my new favorite friend, GoToBackup. GoBackup offers you a big space, flexible plans, and an interoperability you will not get with any other device. Let me break that down. How do we compare? Let's compare prices and sizes, for instance. On annual subscriptions, cloud storage is an internet-based service, something you subscribe for, whether monthly or annual. Annuals are good because you get a good deal with that. But on annual subscriptions, GoBackup offers you 6 terabytes of space on annual subscriptions. Our competitors do 2 terabytes currently on annual subscription, and it's mostly a single user. And sometimes it's stuck to one operating system like it happens with iCloud. iCloud works on only Apple devices. So if you're not an Apple or a MacBook, you can't use their cloud storage service. Google Drive, not so much, but they still do a 2 terabyte space. GoBackup starts off with a 3 times size, 6 terabytes of space, and I'm sure you've seen the prices already. GoBackup beats them all at $99.97 subscription per year. iCloud at the same size would take about $419 for 6 terabytes of space. Dropbox about $350, Google Drive over $300 for the same 6 terabytes of space. Which would you go for? GoBackup, of course, because the price point is better. And not only is it the price point, GoBackup allows you to share the space with 5 other users. If you think 6 terabytes, which is 6,000 gigabytes of space, is too much space for you, you can share it with 5 other people. You can give someone 1 terabyte, give another 2 terabytes, and this works on multiple devices. Unlike iCloud, which works on only Apple, GoBackup works on Android, works on MacBook, works on Windows laptop, works on the iPhone. So whichever device you use, you can get it. All for how much? $99.97 per annum, approximately $100 per annum. That's unbeatable value. The next question you may be wondering is it secure? Yes, GoBackup is secure. It uses the exact same security that the other cloud storage services you are using, which you have not asked which security they are using, use. GoBackup uses the advanced encryption standard, 256-bit military-grade encryption. In fact, that's the highest level of security you get for data storage, and this is what the US military uses to back up their data, reason why this is called the military-grade encryption security. I've spoken about the unlimited devices you can use it on. I've spoken about the multiple operating systems you can use it on, but it gives you even more. It has email systems built in for you, where if you're someone, a company, an individual, organization, small or medium, who sends multiple emails to your customers, your partners regularly, GoBackup gives you an email system that allows you to send bulk emails, personalize those emails so each person, each organization receives their email in their name, and automate it. So if you're consistently sending on Fridays, you can set it that way in your system. The emails will go for you, all planned out for you. So if 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th are the Fridays, you set those days, put your emails there, the system will take care of it for you. You pay extra for this? No. GoBackup gives you this email system at $0 per annum. It's the only company also that gives you a 30-day money back. If you use the service for 30 days and you don't like the service, Go Backup says, just let me know. I'll just refund your money for you. No other cloud storage service does this. It's PCI compliant. What does that mean? Payment card industry compliant. It takes a lot of credibility to get this certification, and Go Backup has it. So you can use any payment card in their system to purchase the service of Go Backup. Beyond the service of the cloud service I've mentioned, Go Backup has additional tools. These tools that are tools that people who are online use these tools to be more efficient and more effective and more visible. You know, there are some platforms that you follow and you wonder, how are they able to post consistently? How are they able to get all these things out there consistently? These are tools that they use. Go Backup does not only give you a cloud storage service, it gives you these additional tools on a one-time pack called the Go Backup Pro. Go Backup Pro has 6 tools put together into one at an unbeatable price. And I'll speak about maybe the testimonial generator and then my new favorite, the Marco Max. The testimonial generator, how does it work as a tool? So say I'm a school, a school that is churning out graduates for senior high school, and consistently the school turns out, is it 8 A's, or I don't know which number of A's they are doing. I did 10 once. I don't know what they are doing now, perhaps about 8. If the highest score is 8 points, and I'm churning out so many of it, and it's only my students who know about it and parents who know about it. How do I get people all over the world to plug into all the goodness that is happening in my school? Use the testimonial generator. It allows you to give a video link out to anybody who has interacted with your service, with your product, and has enjoyed it, to give feedback, video feedback to your platform. You know, in these days, we all buy on reviews. Those are reviews that people visit your page. Everybody is saying something good about you. They want to interact with you. And those are the tools that people use to get efficiency. Let me talk about Marco Max. Marco Max makes online postings, I don't know, the best and the most easiest way ever. You know, to be very visible on social media, you need to be posting consistently and you need to be posting regularly. How do you keep up with the pace? How are the organizations doing it? Look, there's a system Go Backup has built called the Marco Max. You just have to plug your handle into it. You can plug your own videos into it. Time when you want the videos to go out. If you want the videos to go out on 6 a.m., 12 noon, 12 midnight, set it up. Your videos will be sent at those times on your multiple platforms. You can hang Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all on those platforms, and you can actually see the analytics where work is going on well, and you can actually track and see where you should put your effort in. This is coming at an unbeatable price, which we'll talk about as the presentation goes, because trust me, on its own, it will cost you more than 2,000 US, but Go Backup has put this together as a 220 US per annum subscription. If you are on this call, especially, the rest of the world is not getting it at this price, but because you're on this call and your guest invited you, they're getting it at the unique subsidized 220 US dollars per annum for tools that could make you even more than 220 US dollars per annum. So I'd say if you're coming on Go Backup, just go on to the Pro all at once. So Go Backup says you should never, ever, 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 ever have to lose your photos and digital assets again. If you have been deleting to create more space, to get more memories on, you have to stop that habit. Now get onto Go Backup. Backup every single device you have. Move all your data onto this secure platform. Free your phone and create more memories. On Go Backup's platform, over 98% of the hard work is done for you. You don't need to go organize your photos into years, months. The system will do it for you once you start uploading. If you have multiple devices, each of them will be identified. Multiple laptops, each of them will be identified with their data. No data mixes up, and that's 98% of the work done for you. Your 2% is getting the app, subscribing, and starting to enjoy the service. Go Backup is actually impacting the world one country at a time. For a service that's just about 3 years old, it's now in 165 countries in the world. There are 195 countries in the world altogether. Go Backup has covered over 80% of the countries in the world. Country Ghana, where I'm speaking from, got onto this project about 3 months after it was launched. through one of our professors who is in 4 universities in the world. He's in two universities in the UK, one in South Africa, and one in Ghana, here, University of Ghana Business School. His name is Dr. Kweku Ohene-Asare. He got onto this project, Open Country Ghana, to the service of Go Backup. And since then, it's been impacting beyond Go Backup, beyond Ghana, multiple countries in the world. It's only a matter of time. Go Backup will cover the entire world. So that's it about the service of Go Backup. But beyond the service of Go Backup offers you an opportunity to be part, like I said, of a profitable strategic partnership program. I'm going to introduce our next speaker to take us through the strategic partnership program Go Backup welcomes you to be part of. Because in this digital world where work has changed from just the physical 9 to 5 and people are leveraging systems to turn their dreams into reality, you have the chance to be part of something big. Our next speaker is one of the top African leaders on this project. She's opened 2 countries and is building 2 languages on this project. She understands the vision of Go Backup. She knows where this is going. On this project, he's doing it with her husband, and in fact, their entire family, and they're not just doing it alone, they are doing it with every single person they interact with. Reverend Mrs. Bijou Togo Birch is one of our top leaders. She works with the UN Women. She touches continents with her voice, speaks with passion, and it's my pleasure to do this presentation with her. I'm going to end my slides, start off a video, and the next voice you'll be hearing afterwards will be that of Reverend Mrs. Togo Birch, who's going to take us through the second part of this presentation to tell you the strategic partnership program Go Backup welcomes you to be part of. The next video I'm playing is going to be about it's a tour of the facility, the Go Backup corporate office. And this video was done by our CEO. Enjoy it right after Reverend Bijou will be in, and stick and stay to the end because this gets more exciting. Thank you so much for your time.
Hey guys, welcome to the corporate office of Got Backup. Now everybody wants to know, are we super secure and how do we offer such an amazing service at such a low price? So this is in our tech room. And what we're going to do is we're going to take you on a tour of our server room to show you just how secure it is, and we welcome you into the family. So let's go over to the server room. So the first thing I want to explain to you guys is that we're fully PCI compliant. For physical PCI compliance, what does that mean? It means we're allowed to physically store credit cards in our data center because we're uber secure. So we've passed all the tests for that, and we're legally allowed to store credit cards and your storage. So one of the first requirements for PCI compliance is you have to have 2 coded doors before you get into your server room. We also, as a company, like to have fun, so we call it Area 51. So anyway, I'm going to code this door with my back here so you guys can't see what the code is. Come in this way. This is a simple inventory room, guys. We build servers here and so forth. And then our second coded door is over here, okay? And so we have a coded door here as well to get into the server room. So here we are in the server room, guys. This is where all the magic happens. So couple of things people ask. Joel, how secure is my data, and could you ever lose our data? So as an example, let's come here. It's impossible to lose your data, and here's why. If you look at this storage array, and we have, hundreds of storage arrays in here, there's 14 hard drives across this storage array. 4 of these hard drives could fail, which statistically never happens, but let's say it did. 4 of these hard drives need to fail before we start to lose some data. But guess what? We're not going to lose any data because this is striped to here. This whole rack of hard drives here is copied here. Just the same here. All these hard drives here are copied here. So there's not a single point of failure relative to your data. There's also no single point of failure in the server room. As an example, there's A power and B power. Every server is plugged into A power. Every server is plugged into B power. Also, relative to cooling of this room, if you come over here, you'll see we have 1, 2, 3, 4 air conditioners in this server room. So The air is never going to be a problem. The other thing as well is we're very, very efficient. If you look up at the ceiling, let's come back over here, you'll see vents up there, and the cold air is strategically placed in front of the servers here, so it sucks in all the cold air, and it goes over into the hot aisle behind this wall here. So very, very efficient server room as well. And finally, if God forbid there was ever a fire in this room, we have here what's called a fire suppression system. What this system does, it's just a bunch of electronics behind here, but we can open it up, okay, is if God forbid there was a fire, and in 25 years there's never been a fire, but it will snuff out all the oxygen in this room. If there's no oxygen, then the fire goes out, right? So we don't use water to destroy the equipment. So that's the basics of the server room. Super, super secure and super redundant relative to your data. So the other aspect of security is we use the exact same security as Amazon, as Google, as all the big players, Microsoft. It's patented security. It's military grade, 256-bit encryption security. So your stuff is very secure. So let's come out of the server room for now. And I also want to explain, if God forbid a bomb dropped on this building, a hurricane came in, whatever, a flood, which statistically is impossible, but if it did happen, we also back up all of your cloud data to a third-party data center just in case something ever happened to this building. And again, it's never happened, but you just never know, right?
Welcome to.
Thank you very much, Dr. Dorothy, and thank you for taking us through the presentation on the God Backup service. I believe that the guests who are with us this evening, I'm sure you have now understood that God Backup is actually for everyone, including professionals, churches, hospitals, schools, etc., because every single person needs a secure cloud storage, and then also backup as well as digital peace of mind, which is very, very important. So now, beyond the service itself, we have the opportunity that GView as an organization gives to individuals who are using God Backup as an opportunity to make some money. The beauty of this opportunity actually is the fact that you don't have to be a technical person in IT. I am in no way a technical person. The thing is, just share the solution that God Backup is all about. And I'm sure that you situate yourself knowing very well that you have a problem. Now you have a solution. You just share it. So at this moment, I just want to share with you the business model that we have under God Backup. Give me a few seconds. Let me quickly share my screen. Let me see. Okay, great. All right. So this business opportunity that is given is just for anyone who is interested in building something solid to use God Backup and make supplemental income, additional income, passive income, whatever income you want to call it, but just position yourself as a strategic partner. So God Backup, GVO invites you through God Backup to be a strategic partner. And we have this video. I don't know if I'll have time to show this video, but it tells you about life online from 1930 to 2020. When you watch this video, you find that in 2020, when you watch the statistics here, you will see that in 1930, the online life was 0.00%. Then the family life was at 22.72%. Now we are, when you watch this, you will see that at 2020, the life online moved up to 60.78%. What does that tell you? There has been a shift since the year 2000, where everybody, almost everyone, is spending time online because everything is about data generation, and the data is actually generated online. So online activities actually move from the bottom 0.00, as you can see, to the top of the table. And that is the reality we have. Then when we are talking about, okay, great. Just keep watching. Just keep an eye on the online. So in 2024, we were at 60.78% live online. Now, when Go Backup is being used as a business model, there must be a kind of context to it. How is it able to do this comfortably and invite all its users to make some money out of it? When you go on the cloud computing market, in fact, there was a kind of projection that Statista did, and then said last year, which was 2025, the cloud computing market was going to produce above 200 billion US dollars. But at the end of the year, we found out that 25% up, which was 413 billion US dollars, was actually produced, was actually generated out of this cloud computing market. And we are talking about 3,500 billion in that same market by 2035. And that is why when we are talking about being a strategic partner, we are being very strategic, or we are being very wise, because you want to really strategically position yourself in this market. You might not be able to get a lot, but a slice of this market. I have a friend in the US who is setting up something. Then he told me that you are going to be a shareholder on this. And then I said, then you should give me like 40% of this. He said, no, you don't need 40% of this market. You need like just 1% or 2%. And that will be enough, because you make millions of dollars. And we started this about 2 years ago, and I've seen some excellent figures. And I'm like, oh, this must be true. So this cloud computing market, if you are listening to me and you really want to build something consistently, that's going to be solid, that's going to be something on the side, a source of income for you and your family and your generation, you want to consider this model because of what it can do. Now, how do you get started? We have heard about the family pack, which is $99.97 US yearly subscription, just $100 US. How do you become an affiliate or a strategic partner? Simply by paying an extra $20 US a year. So with a total of $119.97, I round it up to $120 US annual subscription, you put yourself into this strategic partnership. You have your service to use with all the benefits that were outlined. And then you also start earning if you are ready to build something consistently and something sustainable. You don't have to start with only the family pack, which is the $120 US. You can start with the Go Backup Pro that we talked about, with 6 other functionalities, with $220 US a year. Powerful. Just go for the Go Backup Pro. You will understand, because it will really help you build your business, your strategic partnership in a very, very global manner. Then you can also start with the enterprise solution, which is $700 US, one-time installation with $600 US yearly subscription to be paid just after you pay the installation fee of $700 US. Now, there are 7 ways of earning, 7 ways of really plugging into this business model. I will talk about 2 particular ways of earning, or commissions or bonuses, because we have 7. The number 1 bonus is paid as and when you earn it, as and when you bring in customers, which we call the customer acquisition bonus. The other 2 to 7 are paid every month. Put this at the back of your mind. Anytime you bring in somebody, you are paid immediately. How does this work? Now, if you speak to somebody and the person decides to get the service, the person goes with the family pack, which is $100 US. I always like rounding it up from 99.97 to 100. The company will give you 50% of that price. That is 49.97. Call it $50 US. So the moment the person subscribes to the service with the 99.97, you get your 49.97 immediately, and you get that in your system. Now, if the person goes for the enterprise solution, which is $600 US every year, you get 25% of that. And if the person goes in for the Go Backup Pro, you get $200 US on your as your customer acquisition bonus. Now, the potential of this is very simple. Let's say you get on today, and then for the next 2 weeks, you're able to bring in friends and family that are very close to you. You understand the problem. You are able to tell them about it because you have been able to have a conversation for them to tell you that we are having issues with our storage. We are always deleting stuff on our phone or on our computers. Then you tell them about the solution and they accept. So within the next 2 weeks, you are able to speak to 5 people. Multiply 50 by 5. That's how much extra income for you. What can you do with $250 US? Extra money. If there are 2 people that you bring in within the 2 months, and within the 2 weeks, you must have already gotten the money that you went in acquiring this subscription for a year. Now, let me quickly talk about the second bonus that I would want to let you know about. That is Sapphire. Now, which we call the second match bonus that you start earning at the level of Sapphire. Now, when you get into the strategic partnership, we have ranks and we have criteria. At each rank, there's a criteria for you to fulfill. Now, when you come in with, let me quickly move and show you here. When you bring in only 1 person who subscribes, you become a bronze. The rank is bronze. You bring in 2 people, the rank is copper. Then at the level of silver, there's a criteria there. When you go to the level of gold, there's a criteria there. Platinum, there's a criteria there. Then when you come to Sapphire, that's when we start talking about the second match bonus, which is a percentage. It starts from the ends 25%. Let me break it down for you. When you get into the strategic partnership and you bring in people personally, let's say you brought in about 15 to 20 people, then at a point, 10 of those people at the end of the month, each one of them has been able to make $1,000 US. I'm using 1,000 to make the calculation very simple and also show you the power of this second match bonus. Second match bonus 25% at Sapphire. 10 people who bring in $1,000 US. $1,000 US, 25% is 250. Multiplied by 10, that's $2,500 US. You can make this after 2 months or after 3 months when you are consistent and you are using good time and consistently building this opportunity, which is an income source for you. When you're at the level of emerald, which is green, it's 50%. Now, when you become a diamond, it's 100%. Out of the 10, if 5 people, each one of them make at the end of the month, $500 US. You have $500 US from each one of them. 5 multiplied by 5, that's 2,500. Then when you move up to Black Diamond is the same 100 US dollars. The potential of this income generation is so powerful. For some of us who are doing it, we have seen this potential. So we are consistently building it. I don't need to be an IT person to do this. I just speak to somebody like I'm doing now, like Dr. Hansen did, talk about the problem, talk about the solution, and how much you can make out of it. I think I have passed this. Now, let me give you a recap of all the things that we have been saying. God Backup is the best cloud storage backup service that you can find. It's the best because it gives you a lot of advantages. You have emailing systems that you can do bulk emailing that are personalized and automated. You can have unlimited number of devices with high security. We are talking about having multi-operating systems across. You can have an Apple, you can have a MacBook, you can have an Android, whatever operating system you are using. And as we saw in the video, you can see that the security is top-notch, 250-bit end-to-end encryption. You can plug into the speak to type and read document. The system is so good that you can speak and then the system will type for you, and then you can also read documents for you. You have support that I'll talk more about. You have strategic partnership, we have trainings, mentorship, and then you have community leverages. The systemic support. Why is my slide not moving? Okay. The systemic support that we have has to do with you having your personalized referral link. Then you have your back office, which you call the personalized landing page or the back office. Then you have the emailing systems and specialized tools that you can use and use it also for your business. So when we are talking about the unbeatable value, this is part of it. Then we have regular online presentations. So when you get in today, you don't need to do presentation. Just invite the people. You'll be coached how to invite the people, and then the people can take part in the presentation. Then we have team training every week. We had the support. Personal development, of course, comes naturally. And then we are talking about community networks and partnership beyond God Backup. We connect at different level with different expertise across every line in God Backup. Last year in November, the CEO and his wife were in Ghana to really unveil once again what God Backup is all about. And we called it the Cloud Revolution Experience 2025 Ghana. And you can see some of our top leaders there who received some good prizes. And you can see the crowd there. Everyone in Ghana is eager to know about God Backup. It is a service that everyone needs. Everybody generates data that needs to be backed up and protected. And with the same service, you have a project that you can afford to do under the guidance, the mentorship, and the coaching of the person who introduced you. And in doing so, you are turning your dreams into reality. I can assure you, you can make, even if I nearly spoke French with you, if it is 50 US dollars a week, that's an extra income for you, but it is bigger than that. Why do I say it is even bigger than that? Because there are people who have made a lot of money that who keep making a lot of money that I can even show to you. If you want to make up your mind, let me quickly say, now is the time. Don't wait, because you don't know what might happen tomorrow. If you are on a job, I have a very good friend who passed on this morning, I was told, from the DRC. She was on a job, then she lost the job. She was very sick. The income stopped. The health insurance stopped. There was no other source of income. That was it. All those things accumulated and became stress, plus the sickness she was carrying. And that was the end of my dear colleague. And she passed on, unfortunately. If you need to make a kind of decision for something that you are using and you can make money out of, I think it is now. It cannot be later. Then I wanted to tell you about a snippet, give you a snippet of how much people are making. And please, there's a disclaimer. All the figures you will see is not a monthly something that I'm telling you are coming to get. If you put in time, you put in consistency, you put in your skill, you are a team player, you can make this kind of money, even more than that. So you can see some people were earning over 10,000 US dollars, 5,000 US dollars, 6,000 US dollars, 3,000 US dollars, all over the place. And there's one that is even in Ghana, 72,000 plus, almost 73,000 Ghana cedis. This is the reality, and this is the strategic partnership that GovBackup offers. Now, let me quickly run you through, if you joined this call a bit late, I will run you through some frequently asked questions. Is my data secure? I think the video we saw is an answer. Yes, it is secure. What subscription plans are available? We talked about the family pack, which is 120. We talked about the pro, which is 220. We talk about the business, which is 700 plus the 600 yearly subscription. So you can go for any one of them. Why should I choose GovBackup over other cloud storage services? Of course, it is secure, it's reliable, affordable, and it also offers an affiliate program that the others do not. So you can go in for it and enjoy the opportunity. Who can use GovBackup? Everyone. Professionals, individuals, businesses, churches, schools, etc. Do I need to be an affiliate to use GovBackup? No, you can be just a client. Enjoy your service. And then if you decide to tell someone, because when the watch is nice, you would want to tell somebody about it. Can I access data from multiple devices? Yes, all your gadgets are linked when you are using GovBackup. What happens if I lose my device? Your data is always safe. Does GovBackup support mobile devices? Yes, of course. Android, Windows, MacBook, iOS, etc. How credible is GVO? You saw the video and you saw everything about GovBackup. Go to the internet. You can see our office. If you have anybody in the US, you can also find out. Can I transfer my data from my Google Drive to GovBackup? Yes, there is a link that I will allow you to do that. On this note, ladies and gentlemen, I said thank you very much for your attention. And if you have any question, I think we can invite questions. If the frequently asked questions were not able to address your questions, please go ahead and ask the question so we can answer them and close at the top of the hour. Thank you very much. Dr. Hansen, over to you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend Bijou. That was powerful and clear and to the point. So thank you so much. Guys, if you have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. We'll be willing to help you get clarity on this beautiful service we have with GovBackup and its amazing strategic partnership that is open to you, and you're welcome on board to be part of this great move. Any questions?